You know, it seems like hype can be such a complicated thing because it's both good and bad. When it comes to video games, hype is half the fun. Watching that new trailer, just watching analysis videos and being sure to like and subscribe, or sometimes just talking about the new gameplay reveal to your friends. Like, looking forward to a game is half of the enjoyment, but sometimes hype can also be incredibly toxic. There's overhype. There's times where the game manages to completely promise the world and say that it's going to change gaming forever, when in fact it's just kind of an average normal RPG, which ends up being toxic to the experience itself. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today I want to talk about a new report just released about Cyberpunk 2077, because this game has turned out to actually be a gigantic money loss. The developers, CD Projekt Red, are actually in deep trouble because of one bad game. And this is fascinating to me because even the studio is clearly panicking to such a crazy degree that they're trying to basically lie and hide information about how bad the situation is. So I actually just looked at this new report that was published over on Game Rant. This is from CD Projekt Red themselves, where they're talking about how low the profits have dropped and just how much money is bleeding out of them at this point. Things haven't been looking good for CD Projekt Red lately. After releasing Cyberpunk 2077 in an unfinished state, which is definitely not an understatement, CD Projekt Red is now facing a number of adverse effects, to the point at which these negative effects have started to show more prominently in its sales figures. Now, obviously everybody's been pretty mad at them because it just boosted itself, it launched in not the best form. This game definitely had some of the worst day one controversy I've ever seen in my life, with people claiming things like the game is unplayable, it's a broken mess, or saying that straight up some people it would not even run even on a high-end PC if you just got unlucky. And this definitely was reflected in the fact that it had things like numerous class action lawsuits, the source code getting leaked. People were understandably upset. But here's what actually caught my attention. Somebody did a breakdown on Twitter of all the different data released by CD Projekt Red, but these are definitely the most shocking numbers, which is the fact that CDPR is actually saying that they lost. Their profits fell by 64.7% in quarter one, critically missing market expectations. That is insane. Like 64% drop in profits. Like, at this point, they're definitely probably in some very deep trouble. So this is definitely them saying, okay, things are definitely looking bad. Now, as it goes on here, they basically say that this is something where they want to try and make more things, promise more things. They're trying to do more patches and more DLC and just basically promise that, hey, investors, do not flee our sinking ship. We promise that we're going to finish the game itself. In fact, they released a series of slides that are basically supposed to tell people that the game will eventually be better, that it will sell in the future, so please let us keep your money. Like, let me show you these slides. They are absolutely bonkers. So here's the first slide we got. Cyberpunk 2070, oh my god, this chart is just absolutely melting my brain. Cyberpunk 2077 stability improvements. This was from their actual investor meeting. This is them telling them that the game is less broken than it was at launch. Like, straight up. Now, first and foremost, anybody who's ever looked at a graph, look, nothing is labeled. Days are not labeled, X and Y. Like, what do these numbers mean? Stability improvement. Is this the number of crashes? Are they saying that the crashes are going down as time goes on? Okay, that's great. Look, though, whenever they release a patch, crashes go up. But additionally, what about the fact that we don't know, is this thousands of crashes? Is this hundreds of crashes? Is this console? Is this PC? This data is an empty promise. This is straight up them panicking and going, please, we promise we'll actually still sell this game. I know it's still a completely broken mess, but we promise it's going to be a good game. Now, the other one they showed here is this absolute psycho thing. Our commitment to making Cyberpunk 2077 a long-term success. Like more than anything, keep in mind just one specific thing, which is the fact that Cyberpunk is supposed to be a gigantic critical success. Like, the point of these charts, it's not to try and make the gamers feel better. It's not about trying to make sure the people who have already bought the product are going to be happy with their purchase. The point of this is to make sure the investors stop pulling their money out of the company, because not only are they losing sales, not only are they losing a bunch of freaking confidence from the gamers, they're also losing investor cash, which is what actually sinks a studio the fastest. But look at this. Here's where the game came out. December 10th. Look at this. Hotfix, hotfix, hotfix. Patch, hotfix, patch, hotfix, hotfix. And now here's when all the new content's coming out, including the next-gen patch and also the free DLCs. Multiple patches and updates. Like, this is funny to me because, like, look at this. Right here, even if you actually super zoom in, it says free DLCs, but if you see this little asterisk, it actually says small additional content. Like, it feels like even they're trying to say, don't worry, we're not losing that much money to make these DLCs because they're just so tiny and worthless. This is nuts to me because Cyberpunk, before this came out, everybody assumed it was going to change gaming forever. Or more than that, everybody thought it would at least be a groundbreaking experience, a game that would try and push the boundaries of gaming itself. And what's funny about this is that now it's become synonymous with disappointment. Like, straight up, I have heard people say, don't get cyberpunked, meaning don't get yourself too into a project. Don't be too trusting of trailers. Don't actually just see if you actually watch a great press release or something. Don't believe it until you have the controller in your hand itself. Now, part of the reason I actually did this video is because Cyberpunk themselves, CD Projekt Red, has been acting like basically they've been beating their chests and pretending that this isn't a big deal for a while. So this actually came out in April. CD Projekt Red was bragging that they only did 30,000 refunds of Cyberpunk out of 13 million. That's like 0.001%. This is so shockingly tiny that at the time I was a bit suspicious of it because while this number is definitely real, it just makes me think, is that official refunds directly through their service? Is this not hardware copies? How many people were able to walk into a store and instantly get their money back? What makes me think about this is the fact that Cyberpunk's in this weird stage where it's still not on the PlayStation Store. They're constantly trying to finish it. They're trying to iron out all the bugs and patches. People keep quitting. Like, this project is just so catastrophically doomed, and it's still not even done. And even now, they're still trying to sell it at any price possible. What a freaking mess. This has been bad, but I feel like it's also been a very educational experience. I feel like gamers now are definitely more aware of mismarketing. I think gamers are more aware of, even if Keanu Reeves is in a game, walking out on stage, doing the victory tour, it might not be the best thing. Even if a game manages to push all the right buttons, even if the game looks like it's going to be exactly what you want, sometimes it can still be a gigantic disappointment. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts because honestly this just seems so nuts and I actually just wanted to talk about it. I'm going to be doing a video very soon of the top 10 best games so far in 2021, so watch for that upload very, very soon. I love you guys a bunch. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a comment. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe if you haven't already, but do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. And yes, as impressed as I was for a bit with Cyberpunk, man, did that honeymoon phase fade fast. Although I do still have multiple copies of it, so I guess maybe I'm the dumbass. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.